So, making that logo was absolute torture. Because first, you had to find a logo maker, right? Where you make the logo. But that was pain because every service that claimed to be free, when I hit the download button, they're like, yeah, it was free to make the logo, but we won't give you it.
Oh, they make it for them?
No, they want you to make it and then pay them $14 a month for the legal right to use that logo that you created on their website. For an image.
Yeah, but nowadays everybody has logos.
But I found another one for free. It was by Adobe. They never give stuff out for free. You're paying $200 a year for stuff that crashes and you lose all your progress, which could be 200 hours of work. You're like, and you're kind of stuck because Adobe is considered the best or whatever. Unless you want to shell out $1,000 for a MacBook and then another $50 for Final Cut Pro.
Why do they call it Adobe when it's spelled Adobe? D-O-B-Y.
No, it's spelled A-D-O-B-E. And then, the formatting. Dear God, the formatting. It was pain. Because, like, when you look at it, it doesn't seem that hard. You just fit the text into the box where it shows all the letters. YouTube doesn't like that. They made me put it in the weirdest formats, like ever constructed. It's like, put your format in 2560 by 1440. I did that, and it made the text off-center, and it made it so that only some parts were viewable on some devices. Apparently, there's like a point in the middle that is viewable on all devices, but you have to make it so it's big enough to view on a TV, a desktop, and all devices, which is stupid. Yeah. I was watching a Scott the Woz video where he was talking about midnight releases, and he said, November in Ohio, huh? He just started laughing, and he showed, like a weather map that said negative infinity degrees. It's like, he's like, and how was my experience of waiting in line for 6 hours? Not fun. Well, yeah, he went out on the night where Pokemon Sword and Shield were releasing, and a Star Wars game released.
Why does he want Pokemon Shield?
Oh, he doesn't. He hates Pokemon.
So why was he going out midnight?
So, he said, I could go on another day in November, and then he showed the release date, games releasing in November, and he's like, no, I think I'll go tonight. Because, like, a lot of stuff released that year, but, like, near the end of the year, it's always kind of scarce, because Nintendo knows not to release games in November, because why would you do that? Christmas is coming up, and, you know, better have your games out by October or December. Also, the fiscal year ends somewhere around that point.
I never understood all that.
Why is it called a fiscal year? Why doesn't the fiscal year end and start on January 1st? Alright. No, because the fiscal year ends and starts in March. And isn't tax month April?
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. Some of the businesses have a little bit extended out too. But
Also, we could spend 5 hours on taxes, but instead we have the system we have now because of TurboTax and H&R Block.
it wasn't that hard. Oh, it wasn't that hard before. TurboTax. I used to do my own taxes when I worked at fast food.
Yeah, because you didn't have many expenses. You worked.
It still don't have that many expenses.
No, I mean like the new system that is called return-free filing. It's what they're trying to implement, but TurboTax and HRR Block are trying to prevent. Return-free filing is basically where instead of
By just putting more dependence on you.
instead of the government checking your work, you check theirs. So you could be like,
So the government can make more money.
No.
Yeah, because how many people are gonna bother?
No, I mean it would only take like an hour, because you would just deduct all of your vacations or whatever, and you'd be done.
You could deduct your vacation.
Because they already know your W-2s and 1099s. They already know all that stuff because the banks give it to them. You just gotta check their work and then you send it back. Boom. Neat.
These guys ain't messing around, huh? The green light.
But TurboTax, TurboTax spends like millions of dollars lobbying Congress to be like, to make them so that it's like Uncle Sam saying, it's like Uncle Sam says, I hear you, American people.
I hear you, American people.
Doing your taxes is so, oh gosh darn, gets money from TurboTax.
Right.
Fun.
Right.
Everything's great. We're changing nothing.
They're not even there.
Mm-hmm.
The State of the Union, that's about it.
Yep.
The State of the Union speech.
Mhm.
Like any other time, there's like 20.
You know, I actually watched this guy. He makes like insane projects, and they're all DIY. He made a fan that isn't a fan. I use this big glass panes that move from side to side with a water pump and a magnet. And it's really cool how it works, and it's much more silent than a regular fan. And it does the same output. It's very weird. But he also made an outdoor TV that's waterproof. And water cooled.
What did you do today? A puzzle? 3D puzzle?
So it's a puzzle game. And a sandbox. Basically, with this one, instead of using controllers, you use your actual real-life hands. You can shoot a gun. Well, I didn't get to that point yet. But you can do finger painting, and you can type on a keyboard, and you can move blocks. It's much more fun than it would seem.
Weekend goes by fast, huh?
Yeah. Also, once haptics get mainstream, that's gonna be insane, because it's like, I watched a guy, he tried out, the new haptic system that 19-year-old VR guy made, and he said it was so strange when he would put his hand on a doorknob, and then his hands would close around what would feel like a doorknob, and then he turned it and opened the door. He's like, like the first time.
Your ears don't get cold on you?
No. the first time he turned it on, he was like, Lucas, you have done amazing. I still need to get better computer parts to run games on the computer. Because what's weird is that my RAM is trash. RAM is basically memory, but it's also not. It's very strange. The easiest way to put it is that more powerful applications require more and faster RAM. And I have slow, less RAM.
I wonder why they don't let you do stuff like Iron Man.
Oh, yeah, they do. They let you do it. They don't care. Heck no. I don't care. Like, some people actually make Iron Man helmets. And it's not even that expensive.
Iron Man, like in 3D, in your virtual reality.
Why would they? That's
go
boring.
Like that.
Why the heck would you want to do that when you could literally do anything? You could go to Niagara Falls in the future.
Oh no, but what I'm talking about is...
You could explore, like, ancient Rome. When ancient Rome existed, you could buy things from the market. You could feel like what it was like living there.
Oh, yeah.
You could see planets from different distant stars. You could literally point at a star. In like the new ones, you can point at a star. And it shows you what the star is.
This would make it where you could be immersed in the movie.
Oh, heck yeah, they do!
Yeah.
There's entire movies designed in VR now.
Yeah.
3D movies work amazing.
You got it?
No, I've heard about it. There's this application called Big Screen. It allows you to watch movies with other people in VR.
No, I'm talking about like being in the, like.
Oh yeah, you can do that.
Like this is the picture.
Yeah, just make a game.
And I.
Why wouldn't you? Okay, if you're going through all that effort to make a movie in VR, why not just make it into a game?
Yeah.
Like one day, Marvel.
Because he wanted to be like. Have you ever seen the movie?
Dad, have you ever seen?
Have you ever seen the movie Inception?
Dad,
Watch Inception.
straight line stories exist.
No, but I'm saying like.
Yeah.
It could do.
But just because it's a video game doesn't mean it has to have choice in it.
Yeah, there's a movie called Inception, I think, that you'd get a kick out of.
Like, lots of games only have one path you can take. Like, there might be small differences that you can take, but it all ends the same. So you could make a Marvel movie. You could literally go up to the bad guy and punch him to death and be like, "Ha, sucker, you suck."
It wasn't even that cold. It's cold.
Alright. See you in the koozie.